consider this your daily dose of Renee talking shit. So currently the phone I'm filming with is my iPhone that I purchased 3-4 years, whenever it was, when I got Spectrum Mobile. And that was one reason I wanted it. I wanted an iPhone because I like the way they shoot. I had to make payments on this phone. Say what you will, I don't give a shit. Some of us live like that in this world, okay? So I struggled to get that payment every month along with the bill. It wasn't much, but it was much when sometimes we were homeless. Sometimes I didn't have a job. Sometimes I was out of work sick. I paid the bill off in February. I paid the phone off, my bad, in February. Or January. January was my last payment on the phone. So I owned the phone. But my first bill after that I got in January and February was $10 more. It was $30 for the payment for the phone. It was $30, well, they increased it when we moved out of Asheboro and I didn't have internet with them. So that made it $70 and some change every month. I still paid it. I wanted this phone. I didn't want to not own it. I didn't want to have a phone that I had not paid off. I was trying to do right by Spectrum. So my bill in February was $80. That bill should have been $40. Should have been $40. They have not cut this fucking phone off, and I have not paid the bill. Y'all pardon my fucking French. It is what it is. I haven't paid the bill. I didn't pay February's. I didn't pay March. I just got another notice of another bill. I think, no, that's the March bill. Anyway, 2 bills. I just called them, and you cannot convince me that this is not a game they play, because I had to go through the automated system to get to a real person, and you have a 4-digit PIN to get to a real person to prove that you are who you are, which makes no sense. But anyway, I go through the automated system. The automated system accepts my PIN. I'm like, I'm calling to get you to disconnect this service. I know what y'all are doing. I now own the phone, and you don't want me to be able to put any other service on it. So anyway, I go through my rigmarole, and then she says, I'll need your 4-digit PIN. And I give it to her, the one that the automated system accepted. She said it wasn't the right PIN. Can you think of anything else? So I give her a different PIN. She said it's not that. I said, well, tell me how your system accepted the PIN that I know that I use for everything. And she begins to go into her spiel explaining it, and then, wanting other information. She just, I believe she was going to ask me for blood eventually. But anyway, I hung up on her because it's bullshit. They're playing that game. They did that with our internet service when we left Asheboro. They left our internet on for 6 months, even though there was no electricity in the place. Nobody moved in it right away. It was vacant for months. We repeatedly tried to call them and tell them to shut it off, and they wouldn't. They continued to charge us a bill. I'm just saying, for the record, y'all can come back and let me know in 2, 3, 4, 5, 10, 20, 30 years. Spectrum's about to have a lawsuit on their hand. Not by me. I'm not making a threat. I'm just saying, this is where it usually starts. Companies do shady shit, and eventually somebody's like, that just don't sound right. I don't remember much about social studies and stuff like that in school, but I do remember something about owning a monopoly. You cannot be the only service in town. You cannot drive out other services, but that's what Spectrum is doing. And when they do that, the same as with Duke Energy, they get more and more and more shady. They do more shady shit. And I guarantee you, I know Duke Energy is about to get sued. It's going to be Spectrum too, because they do this shit with their customers. They do not want you leaving them. They don't want anybody else to be able to put a service like the internet service in a home where it's been, abruptly disconnected. We had issues. We couldn't stay there, but we did have that service on for a while in Asheboro. This phone I've had for 3 or 4 years. I've been paying on it 3 or 4 years, and they treat it as a prepaid service. So you don't have like a monthly cell service provider. You've got a prepaid phone, a very expensive one. And I just won't do that anymore. I will not deal with that shit. But mark my words. Mark them. Spectrum's going to end up getting sued.